We're gearing right into things. No mic test. What is going on, YouTube? White here. Not wasting a nickname on you because we're kind of. I'm not saying we're running short, but the list is always dwindling.
Yeah.
The well is always running dry. New quick series. Gonna give them the info before we get into it.
Sure.
Findsight 2020, we'll call it, or just Findsight. It's just gonna be us talking over notable finds in the history of the channel. Now that we're much more educated men, which of course we're not, but we're more educated than we were back then. So let's get into some famous what do we want to call this? Discoveries inside of garages.
Yeah.
The theme of this week's video is us actually rooting through people's stuff with or without their permission.
And right here you can see he kind of rooted out this box of the complete in box Nintendo games. Clean.
Literally almost like they vacuum sealed this box.
Which is weird because they didn't even have it taped, but there's no dust in this box at all.
That is weird, and especially in this dirty, you'd think in a garage it would be much more dusty and dirty, but this stuff looks almost off a collection shelf, someone that keeps good care of their collection. Tell us about what you ran into. You probably can't remember it, but this was like 2013. What happened as you walked up to the sale?
I don't think they had much at the sale, if I remember correctly, because walking up, you kind of saw that. There wasn't much at the sale. I asked if they had video games, and then this masterful stuff came out.
They brought out the complete in-box system initially, and then I'm the one that went and got this for them kind of on the top. But the noteworthy thing I remember about this sale, obviously it's a fantastic lot, and obviously the price we paid, I think we paid $26 for this.
I think it was 24.
I don't.
It was something. It was something really
low. It was lost in translation. It was something like $25. We found this 11 minutes into garage selling.
Now, a lot of people don't know this, but this day was actually terrible for us. Like, it was a great day finds-wise, but because we found this right away, the rest of the day was just no's.
Absolutely.
So it was just super frustrating.
I remember that specifically. We got home thinking it was a failure. We opened the trunk of the There was the Mustang back in these days.
It was the Mustang. I remember that.
We opened the trunk and saw this lot that was like from another lifetime before, and we're like, well, it actually was not a bad day, and in fact, it was one of the best days of all time. $25 for this lot.
I still have that complete in-box system.
Yeah, I traded mine away for factory-sealed Pokemon Stadium 2, which was
I would not have done that.
It was an amateur move. Well, I said, we're going to find another one of these. We found another one, but the woman would never sell it.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. There was this woman that... It was near the beginning. Actually, I think it was one of our first videos that I was involved.
Yeah, I think so too.
Where we go up and she has the Star Wars game and like the toys game for the Super Nintendo.
It's called a high-speed find or something.
Something like that.
High-speed.
Oh, this is also when I had the NES belt buckle.
Oh, God.
Those are the days. I can't wear a belt buckle anymore.
Hot Topic misses your business. But let's get back into the end of this find. Yeah, it looks like we're paying him $26. If I recall, we paid an extra $1.
It was an extra $1 because we're splitting it. We were splitting it.
People did second guess us on that.
People were like, because we were trying to negotiate down $1, and people were like, "Are you serious?"
I was never trying to negotiate. I tried back in these days. We always tried to split exactly 50-50. Nowadays, I'll throw a 20 down and you throw a 10 down, or vice versa. We don't really care.
We'll deal with it later.
We'll deal with it later if we need to. If it's a couple bucks, it doesn't matter.
Exactly. But, that was that hat too. It was the green hat.
I remember this is bringing back a lot of deals. Let's get into your Sherlock Holmes find here.
Yeah, I had been watching the show Sherlock, which was very popular, but kind of died.
Was that Benedict
Cumberbatch?
Okay, because they made a couple like Sherlock Holmes. Another one called Rudimentary or something. They made a couple in like one.
I think it was Elementary.
Elementary.
That wasn't him though. That was like some chick.
But that was Sherlock Holmes, right?
Yeah, it was like some other. There was a Sherlock phase for some reason.
And the Robert Downey Jr. movie, yeah. Yeah,
those were great films. Anyway, so I had just watched pretty much the entire series the night before. So I had that frame of mind because whenever I watch something a lot or I watch a movie, I'm kind of in that frame of mind for like a day or two.
It's like Dexter almost. You're
exactly like after I watched Dexter, I had like that thing in the back. Anyway,
let's not hear about anything that'll get the FBI called.
So I'd been watching Sherlock, so I had that frame of mind going. So I was kind of looking for clues for more video games because it's like, okay, so we found
clues kept showing up.
Yeah, Twilight Princess was in here. Some random PS2 games. All of them were scratched to shit.
They were all ruined. I remember that.
Oh, God.
And a quick backstory to the viewers watching this. I don't even know if we said this in the original video. This was kind of a reverse estate sale in that the parents were selling the kids' items because the kid moved away abruptly across the world. So they were basically trying to get rid of everything in this house.
He didn't die.
They didn't die. They moved to like somewhere in the East Coast,
which we have dealt with before.
That we'll get into that in another video.
Yeah.
But long story short, they're trying to sell off everything. So it's basically me and Fanta against lost items. What's up?
It was loading for a second.
It's a
okay.
laptop.
It scared me. All right.
But then the big clue we found comes up right here.
Right here. Yep. This was a very promising lead in my investigation for video games. And so we're looking at it, and it's of course, I think this is
Ocarina.
Majora.
It's one of the two.
It's one of the two. I can't tell because for some reason they ripped off the cover, which makes me sad because usually it's got really nice artwork.
I would have kept that too.
I was looking around. You're looking around right now, but I was looking around the garage while you were looking at other miscellaneous things.
Right.
And like in the corner of my eye, I saw this N64 cartridge.
You just saw one.
I saw one. Oh, here's me. Let's look at
We'll get
CDs.
to it. And again, we're looking at everything because the people hosting the sell
knew nothing
and would sell everything in this house.
Which is weird. It happens so often that the people don't know what the heck
exactly.
Have at all.
This is an entire video of us rooting out the items more or less. So
yeah,
it's sad, but at the same time, we were treasure hunters this day because we knew as soon as we saw that Majora's Mask instruction guide, we knew that these games existed. There was GameCube games, there was Wii games. As you said, the condition
awful,
horrendous.
I don't know how people can do this to their games. Like, it makes me sad, like genuinely sad.
It makes us sad, but keep in mind we were probably the kids that in like 1998 ripped open the N64 boxes to GoldenEye.
We ripped open the boxes, but all my labels are perfect. I never wrote on any of my games. All my PS1 games don't have a single scratch on them.
You still have them from when you were a kid?
I still have all my games from when I was a kid.
Okay. So as you see, we're still looking around Titanic. The Titanic VHS was a day one buy back in the day, by the way.
Oh my god.
And you know what else was a day one buy? The Jurassic Park Lost World. It was like came in a big box like that, and it was both movies.
Oh, okay.
VHSs were just horrendously big.
Some people have been ragging on us been yelling at us for ragging on VHS tapes, because I guess there are some that are actually worth something.
Okay, now albums might sound better. The jury's still out on that debate.
That big debate.
VHSs do not look better.
No, those
or
do not look better.
No one on the planet
those
can
are
argue
bad.
that. So here we have Mario Party 7. I think it was a different disc. It was Mario Sunshine, and John Lennon, rest in peace. And here's the find. You find it in this corner over here.
Here we go. Yep. I just kept stacking it. It was just, oh my god,
Doubles
this was such a good
amazing
day.
games. I remember. I think there's 2 Mario Karts in here.
It's 2 Super Mario 64s. It was great because it made it easy for us to split.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, well, I get one of these, and you get the same exact one over here.
There's Elmo. That's a day one buy right there.
Number Game was a day one play. Which I don't think I think it's still in a box in my room.
Do you have that?
Yeah, I think it's still stacked.
We need to play that.
I'll put that kind of towards the end of the list. Maybe at like number 98 or something. It'll be on the list.
There's the Chef's Love Shack. Do you still have that game?
I do not recall. I have
There's
a bunch
the Mario
of these randoms
Tennis.
with the tacky Blockbuster label on the front.
Yeah.
So that when you pull off the Blockbuster labels, it ruins everything.
I'm glad Blockbuster is gone.
I'm kind of sad. I almost felt nostalgic when I drove by one of the old Blockbusters, and I wished I could have gone in. But the second I did go in, if they still existed, I would hate it again. So,
yeah, there was nothing ever there. Oh, there's my Mario hat.
And it was by that little, like, what are those things called? The circles of Indians, and they put up shadows.
I think those are like candle holders.
Someone leave a comment. They're like, you put a fire and things like dance around the fire.
It's really creepy. I hate those things.
So this is another find. This is back when you were kind of famous for sleeping in through yard sales. And this was an April yard sale, so you did not want to sleep in through this.
Yeah.
These people had these crates. It was one of those sales that I would have driven right by on a normal day and said, screw this, I'm not going in. But this was back in the day. I think this was back in 2013 when we asked every single sale. In fact, that was one of our strict rules. Always ask everyone.
That probably was pretty good. But we also used to go out for like 5-6 hours.
We used to have a lot more free time, frankly. Now we do skip yard sales. If it looks hopeless, we skip it. And I would have missed this awesome find had I skipped it. They had books and stuff up front, and they had this creepy jack-o'-lantern, the steel jack-o'-lantern thing up here. But they, of course, needed my help, and they said, come out. come check out what we got in the garage. Our kids used to play Nintendo games, so they let me into their garage, rooting through these old boxes, trying to knock down the jack-o'-lantern, trying to knock down the bike. And I open it up, and the first thing I see is the Power Glove.
Oh, man.
With a huge lot of pretty much every cartridge-based Nintendo system. NES, Super Nintendo, and N64. All accounted for. The Power Glove did end up working.
How many games are there?
I don't remember, probably about 20 games.
Oh, and they all have the cases too. That's cool.
They have these cool little like Funko Land or Nintendo brand cases, but really good games.
That's awesome.
Obviously, the Power Glove is a huge find. We've never seen one, have we? Is this the only Power Glove we've ever found?
I think it's the only one.
At a garage sale, and it did have the sensors, and it did work. I ended up trading
Wow.
this away, actually locally, not even over YouTube, to a local collector. I don't remember what I got for it. This was 3 years ago. But as you can see, A+ title after A+ title. And since the parents were in charge of this lot, it would appear the games are in cases and the games are in like immaculate condition.
Yeah, that's awesome. I am super jealous of this, and this is like years ago.
The controllers. And this lot was spectacular in 2013, and it's probably even a lot more spectacular today. Just things like N64 controllers are, when I see them now, I get really excited. Back in the day, I was just like, it's just an N64 controller.
Are those worth more now? Is that why?
They're easily worth that what's it called? Atomic purple controller right there. Easily north of $20.
Oh my
just
God.
for the controller alone. And I probably wasn't the case back in 2013.
Look at all these games.
But at this time, today, controllers like this get me like, I get super excited to see them.
Well, I mean, the retro scene is definitely, people were thinking the bubble was going to pop. It's still gotten bigger with GameStop.
Right. If you guys enjoy the series, leave a thumbs up. We're out. Later, guys.